I found a great deal on a kind of fleece I'd never tried before. Let's make some light fleece blankets. Hi, this is Tweek. We're going to take one of these kits and tweak it. Let's go. We begin by grabbing one of these no-sew kits at your local fabric store. And it comes all ribboned up very nicely. And what you get here is 2 big pieces of fleece. Now this is a light fleece, very much thinner than the fleece that I'm accustomed to using. You can almost see through it. And you're supposed to cut strips into it and make knots. I had a better idea. I'm going to take these pieces and treat them like my normal fleece by punching the holes and stitching around and putting them together. And look at how beautiful that is. It's a little bit lighter than a regular fleece, but together it makes a really lovely blanket. And what a value, because we're getting one of these kits for around $6. And you put 2 of these together and you get a really nice 40 by 60 inch blanket. So let me give you a quick rundown of how we do that. You get the kit and they come in all different patterns, so you just choose. And it comes like a rough cut, 40 by 60, and you see this edge here. And we want to cut that edge off. So you just take your fabric. I'm going to give you a quick demo here. And I'm just going to follow, there's little dotted lines. I'm just going to go ahead and follow that and cut all the way down the side of the fabric. And I'm using those little dots as a guide. And this is, it's a lesser grade of fleece fabric, but when you put it together, it's really makes a lovely blanket. So here's what you get. You get this strip. And you do that on both sides of the fabric. I've got one here that's partially done. Let me show you. The next thing we would do is to punch holes into that piece of fabric. Now there's one big caveat here with this light fleece. Because it's light, it doesn't really like the punching too much because it's so light. Let me show you. So here's the edge that would be cut off. The fabric, when you punch it, it is so thin. See that? That I pull in a little bit instead of going close to the edge. A normal fleece, or the thicker fleece, accepts the punch a little better. This one will stretch out a little bit. So I'm going to take the fleece and I'm going to come along the edge. Usually I go about 1/8 to 1/2 inch. I'm going to push this all the way out. I'm going to use the whole width of that punching tool and I'm going to make a punch. Now you see that hole? Now with ordinary fleece, usually if you stretch it, it returns back. This one stretches so far that it makes a big hole. So what I want to do is punch in, it still works, but punch in farther in on the fabric so that when I add the stitches, there's a little more fabric here to help hold that stitch in place. That's the only thing with the lighter fleece is you got to be careful. Don't get too close to the edge or it could just rip right out. So I use the tool and I punch all the way down. If you're going to use one of the rotary punchers, you want to be very careful as well. You pull in a little bit off the edge. I'm using the same amount of space as I punch along. I've done these so many times, but that's the biggest thing is to be aware of don't get too close to the edge. So you're going to go all the way around the circumference of your piece of fabric. Then when you get that part done and you're all punched around, you're going to start adding your stitches. This is my little test guy here. This is my little test area. And so I put in stitches. Now we've got other videos. We can show you how I did this and just click on the link. So we've got these holes punched and you can see how big they get? See, you can see them really well. This light fabric, just be really careful with it. Even when I add in my stitch. See this bigger bit of a hole there? It does recuperate a little bit. You just don't want to pull on it too much. You want to be gentle with it. So I just take my hook, I go in to the hole, pull the yarn out, and pull through. It's called the single crochet stitch. And then I'm coming up here to a corner. Oh, Of course I am. So what I'm going to do at each corner with this light fleece, I'm going to very gently, I'm not tugging as much as I usually do when I don't go quite as fast when I'm coming around with this fleece. And I'm going to put 5 stitches into that corner. 3, 4. I'm using my regular yarn. You could go with a smaller yarn if you want. See? And then we're going to keep going all the way around the side of the blanket. And when you get that done, when you get both pieces together, then you hook them together. And look what you can do. So with this fabric here, we had the really pretty flower pattern and the green pattern. They come kind of messed up, you know, they're kind of wrinkly. Once you get done punching them, look at how pretty this is. Look at, and you can choose what you want to go around with. So each side, the green side I went around with white, this side I went around with green, and then hooked them together with the green. Oh, how did I hook them together? I didn't show you that part. Let me pull my little friend back here. I'm just going to demonstrate quick. I'm going to take 2 pieces and you're going to put them together. Okay, so they're both 2 pieces, and you're just going to pick a spot. Quick demo. And you've got your 2 pieces hooked together. Now I'm pretty good at spacing out my stitches, so it usually works out. Again, we have many videos that you can refer to if you want to really see a more involved version of this. But I'm going to come up, see how the 2 chains, there's like a chain laying across the stitch. So I'm just going to go under 2 chains. I'm going to bring the yarn under, and I'm going to make a knot. Boy, this pretty bright pink against the light pink. Okay, got a knot there. Now I'm going to go back under that same spot and pull the yarn through and make a loop. I'm just going to pull the loop. Okay, then go through the next chain and pull the loop. And if we do that enough times, you just follow the chains. Oh, come here, give me some more yarn. See how quickly you can move along. Just follow those chains, push the hook through, bring it under, and pull. And you end up with a really nice stitch to hold them together. I'm just really excited about this particular find because I hadn't considered these guys before. Well, look what happens. So if you take just one of the pieces that comes, there's 2 pieces, and you just stitch around, you end up with a really pretty light. See how you can almost see through it? But it's really light and really soft. And I like that. That could make a lovely little girly or boy blanket. Look at here. Because they give you their own selection, doesn't mean you have to use it. So I took another piece of fleece I had and put it with the pink that came in the kit. Now see how you can almost see through it? That the light fleece is different. It behaves the same as far as washing and durability, but it's just so thin that you get a whole different look to it. And the cost value is wonderful. So that is a pretty one. They gave you a lot of choices. Look at this one. This was a kit. Now look at this. It came with bees and this bright yellow that went with it. I mean, like, oh my gosh. So all I did was I went around with black on both pieces, and then I hooked it together with this pink. I was trying to match the color in the bee's little cheek there, because of course bees have cheeks, right? But this one, just adorable. And you get the full 40 by 60 inches. You're not cutting 3 inches off and making knots and making it smaller. I like that too. Probably one of my favorites. Now this is just using the kit that comes with the 2 pieces. Look at this one. Now this was piggies. I couldn't resist the piggies. And they came with the light. You know, they're giving you the color of the fabrics. Piggies and light. And so I took white and black, went around white with both sides. This would be your colors. You know, when you get a piece of fabric, look for the yarns that make it happy, that go with it. So there's the piggies. Love the piggies. I'm getting down on my table here. Look at this one. Now this was just, I had 2 extra pieces of this, and I'll show you why in a minute, but I just took the 2 pieces of pink, put them together. They weren't in the kit. I made it up. Almost limitless what you can decide to do with these kits that they give you. And for $6, you can get them on sale. I did. For $6 to make a lovely blanket, like, wow, I think that's such a value. And the reason why I had extras is because I thought, instead of putting one kit together, what if I added the kits together? And that's where, whoa, I ended up with, there was a Snowman Kit, and I got it. And here it is, this Snowman Kit. It's pretty big. I'm going to throw it over here. Okay, the Snowman Kit came snowman on one side and this maroon color to match the snowman. And I took 4 of these kits and made each kit and then put it together. So you have 4 times 40 by 60 for like a bed quilt. And wow, and not only is this really lovely to look at, their choice of patterns, which I thought that was okay. I went around with gray and black, and here's what it looks like when you throw it on a bed. Because these are 2 light fleeces, you do get a lighter blanket. The fleece I usually use is really warm, and this has warmth too, but it's just a little bit lighter and easy to throw around. Here, put you over here, and then here's my favorite. I took 6 of these kits times $6, $36 in fabric. So this came in a kit of pink and flowers, and I used just the flower pattern. Just the flower piece, and I hooked all these flower pieces together to give me one large, beautiful blanket. It's light and it's pretty, and here's what it looks like when it's on the bed. Get one of these kits. I never looked at them before. I love that it's no sew, because I don't sew. But just to have the options of taking this fabric and putting it together your own way. You don't have to knot it. You don't have to snip it. You just use it. And, oh my gosh, I love it. See you again. If you enjoyed this video, here's another you may like. And here's a playlist of other projects that you might enjoy.